Hey everybody, Cooper here at eTrailer. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Kuat NV 2.0 on our 2023 Honda Passport. Our bike rack is going to be a platform style bike rack, being able to hold up to 2 bikes. Individually, they can be up to 60 pounds each, which means our heavier e-bikes are going to be an option here. Notice also that we are not making any frame contact, which means that our carbon frame bikes as well as the alternative frame bikes are going to be an option for this too. We make 2 main points of contact, which is going to be on our back tire, which is just a rubber strap, and a hook here on our front. One of the nice things about the NV 2.0 is that we do have a tilt-away feature. Simply by pulling this lever here, kind of in the middle of our bike rack, and slowly leaning this down, we do gain that full hatch access. So whether we are keeping our helmet, our shoes, or a snack before or after our ride in our back area, we can have that full access into our trunk here. And to simply get that rack back up into that loaded position, we are going to go ahead and kind of grab our rack low, put our hand on one of the arms here, and lift. With the NV 2.0, we do have a button here for our hook, so be careful when you are lifting that you do not make any contact with that button. That being said, it is one of the ways that we unload our bike. But first we're going to come back to our tire here and press our gray button, disengaging our rubber strap here and feeding it out of the way. Then we're going to come up to that hook that we just talked about while holding onto our bike, because once we press that button, all of the weight is going to be transferred from that rack to us. Moving that hook down out of our way, we can go ahead and grab our bike, and now we're ready to ride. With our bike off, we can look at one of the cradles here for our front tire and notice how wide it is and how it has these different grooves for different tire sizes. Now, our front cradle is made for up to a 5-inch tire width, but unfortunately our back strap is not long enough to fit over a 5-inch tire width. So to help accommodate for that, the Kuat NV 2.0 does come with one fat strap adapter, so that way if you want to have a 5-inch tire width bike instead of a 3-inch tire width bike, you can carry one of those without needing to purchase an additional strap. We can also accommodate up to a 50-inch wheelbase size, and that's mostly because our back rubber strap does move up and down on our bike rack, which helps us accommodate for those different sizes. And after we go ahead and lift up our hook, and we can hear that nice ratcheting system that it has, that's going to help keep your bike in place. If we pull on that same lever that we used to tilt our bike away, we can actually push it towards our car and put the NV into a more compact mode. Now, with our rack in this more compact position, we can see how it interacts with our vehicle a little bit. We are going to have that full unobstructed view of our rear windshield. Our tail lights are completely unobstructed, and because our backup camera sits up pretty high, we are going to be able to use that when reversing. Our rack might be in the shot, but I don't think it will fully obstruct that view. And we have a full unobstructed view of our license plate. The only thing being that when we are in that reverse mode, because of how close our rack sits to our bumper, our sensors are probably going to be reading that and making that noise. One additional feature that the NV 2.0 comes with that's pretty unique is a fitted bike repair stand. So by simply disengaging this lever and lifting this up, locking it back into place, and undoing this knob right here, we can see that we do have a bike repair stand here where we are going to be able to fit our bike in. Whether we need to do some repairs before or after our ride, we do have that available option to us. Now, anytime we add something into the hitch of our vehicle, we're going to be adding on length. So let's take a couple of those measurements for you. Putting our tape measure on our back bumper, we can see that we're adding on about 15 inches to the back of our vehicle in this more compact configuration. And that's important to know in case you plan on trying to squeeze into any tight spaces, maybe trying to fit it into your garage in this configuration. Just knowing, is there enough space for your vehicle, plus that additional measurement on the back. Now, of course, this is going to be in that compact configuration. Let's lower it back down into our bike carrying configuration. Again, putting our tape measure back on that bumper, we're going to be able to see that we're adding on 31 inches now in this configuration instead. And I think that this one's very important to know for if you're like driving down the highway and want to change lanes, you need to remember that there's an additional 31 inches on the back of your vehicle. The last measurement we're going to take is ground clearance by placing our tape measure up on the lowest part of our bike rack and down on the floor. We can see that there is 23 inches between the bottom of our rack and the floor. So even if you take this up any steep inclines or parking any driveways with an uphill tilt, I have no problem thinking that this is not going to make any ground clearance contact because of that nice rise in our shank. One thing that is also a really nice feature about the NV 2.0 is that there's actually an integrated cable lock on both sides of our bike rack that has a lock core folded in within itself too. So it's just a nice additional security feature that you'd be able to lock up your bikes with that additional peace of mind if you ever had to leave your bike rack for any reason, like going into the gas station or something, to know that your bikes are safe. And since it's integrated in, you can't forget it. Taking a closer look at our hitch, we do have a 2-inch shank fitting inside our 2-inch receiver. We have a pin here that's kept in place by another lock core, and this is actually key to that cable lock that we saw earlier. So one key is going to keep your bike rack in place and also keeping your bikes in place. As we come to the back here, we can see that we have an anti-rattle knob here, which means that this is a completely toolless install, which is another thing I really like about the NV 2.0, is that you don't have to have any tools when installing it. And all that anti-rattle knob is going to do is just help take out a lot of the play right to left and up and down play while you're going over those bumps or potholes or anything you may find in the road. Overall, I do think that the Kuat NV 2.0 is a really great bike rack. I think it's a pretty good premium bike rack with a lot of really good premium features. If you were looking for something that maybe held your bikes in the same way but didn't have some of the features that we saw here today, something like the Rocky Mounts monorail might be a perfect addition for it. While holding the bikes in the same way, it just doesn't have the bike repair stand or that integrated cable lock, but still has that anti-rattle while still being able to accommodate some of those heavier e-bikes. But if you like everything you saw here today, this was the Kuat NV 2.0 on our 2023 Honda Passport. My name's Cooper, and thanks for watching.
Here on our test course, we'll start by going through the slalom. This is going to show us the side-to-side action, which simulates turning corners or evasive maneuvers. Once we get to the alternating speed bumps, we'll see the twisting action. This will simulate hitting a curb or a pothole or driving over uneven pavement. Now lastly, we're going over some full speed bumps, and we can see here the up and down action, and this will just be like driving in and out of a parking lot, garage, or driveway.